Good evening, everyone. My name is Rahdric Dix. I'm the founder of the Goods Virtual World and the Good Network. And for the last several years, I've become obsessed with one question. Not how people make money, how civilizations keep ownership. Because I believe one of the greatest illusions in modern society is that participation and ownership are the same thing. They are not. And I did not learn that lesson from a textbook. I learned it from my own life. Years ago, I remember sitting alone in my car after a long week of work. The dashboard lights were glowing softly across the windshield. My phone kept buzzing with emails. And outside, rain was hitting the windows hard enough that it almost drowned out my thoughts. From the outside, my life looked successful. I had the title, the responsibilities, the schedule, the visibility. But I remember staring through that rain-covered windshield and realizing something deeply uncomfortable. Almost everything around me was rented. The apartment, the software, the entertainment, the audience, the platforms, even my time belonged to systems I did not control. And I remember thinking, how can someone work this hard and still feel like they own so little of their actual future? That moment changed me, because I realized modern civilization has become incredibly good at making people feel powerful without helping them become owners. And once I saw that, I could not unsee it. I started noticing it everywhere. I saw musicians shape global culture without owning their masters. I saw athletes become world famous without owning the leagues. I saw creators build audiences of millions inside platforms that could erase their reach overnight. I saw neighborhoods create culture while someone else owned the buildings, the banks, and eventually the land itself. And that led me to one idea that completely changed how I understood the world. The civilizations that shape the future are not necessarily the ones with the most talent. They are the ones that best convert talent into ownership systems. That is the entire thesis. Not talent alone, not hard work alone, not visibility alone, ownership systems. History keeps repeating this lesson. Some cultures mastered portability because persecution forced them to. So they turned education into survival, knowledge into infrastructure, networks into protection. Other civilizations mastered industrial coordination. They built factories, engineering systems, manufacturing ecosystems, institutional discipline. Other communities mastered trade and entrepreneurship because instability taught them to trust each other before they could trust governments. And then there are oppressed cultures, especially Black culture in America, that mastered emotional endurance. Cultures that created beauty from pain, music from struggle, identity from resistance, global influence from impossible conditions. And what struck me most was realizing that some of the most culturally influential people on Earth still struggle with ownership infrastructure. That is the paradox. A people can shape the culture of the world while renting the machinery distributing it. And I believe that is one of the defining challenges of the modern era, because today, we are entering a civilization where more people than ever can generate attention while owning less and less beneath it. Your music is rented. Your software is rented. Your movies are rented. Your transportation is rented. Your audience is rented. Your cloud storage is rented. Even your memories increasingly exist inside systems owned by someone else. We are slowly becoming a subscription civilization, and the danger is not only economic, it is psychological. Because participation feels like ownership, visibility feels like power, followers feel like leverage. But if you do not own the infrastructure beneath your visibility, you are vulnerable to every system above you. That realization changed how I define success. I no longer believe the highest form of success is fame. I believe the highest form of success is continuity. Can what you build survive you? Can your knowledge survive you? Can your systems survive you? Can your community compound after you are gone? That is civilization-level thinking. And I believe oppressed cultures now face a defining decision. Do we continue chasing visibility, or do we build infrastructure? Do we continue celebrating consumption, or do we normalize reinvestment? Do we continue building individual stars, or do we build institutions that survive generations? Because no civilization becomes powerful through talent alone. A-plus civilizations create repeatable ownership systems. And if I could give one blueprint to any culture trying to rise, it would be this: turn education into survival. Teach children contracts before adulthood, ownership before consumption, systems before motivation. Merge the elders with the youth. The elders possess wisdom, discipline, sacrifice, historical memory. The youth possess speed, creativity, technology, adaptability. One generation remembers the pain, the other understands the future. Most societies separate them. Thriving civilizations merge them. Own distribution. Do not only create, own the route between the value and the people receiving it. Convert culture into infrastructure. Music should become publishing. Sports should become ownership groups. Fashion should become manufacturing. Creativity should become equity. Build local ownership networks, investment groups, mentorship systems, educational pipelines, land trusts, legal defense structures, community institutions, and perhaps most importantly, make ownership cultural. Repeat it until it becomes identity. Own part of what you build. Read before you sign. Invest before you display. Build what survives you. Pass knowledge forward. Because civilizations become whatever they repeatedly reward. And this is exactly why I created the Goods virtual world and the Good Network. Not simply as media companies, not simply as platforms, but as an attempt to build educational and ownership infrastructure for the digital age. A place where people can learn systems instead of just consuming information. A place where education becomes immersive. A place where communities can connect knowledge to opportunity. A place where technology helps people rehearse the future before they live it. Because for the first time in human history, ordinary people now have the tools to build institutions from their phones. A creator can become a media company. A teacher can build a global classroom. A community can organize capital digitally. A small idea can become infrastructure. But only if people understand the difference between attention and ownership. That difference changes civilizations. And so if you remember only one thing from tonight, remember this. Participation is not ownership. And the future will belong to the people who understand the difference. You just got the goods from the goods.